Is your R36Max still getting stuck on a black screen when trying to install dArkOS? Then check out this video and I'm going to show you how to fix that issue. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Frank again and welcome to my channel 16 bits or higher. On today's video, I'm going to go over a couple of issues that people have been getting after installing dArkOS on their R36Maxes. And basically what I'm going to show you is a couple of things that may be getting wrong whenever you're doing the installation. There's a few things that you really have to pay attention to when you're doing the update on this device. And it has to do with the DTV files, and it also has to do with the .ini file. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take out the memory card, the SD card out of the device, and I'm going to pop it in my computer, and I'm going to show you what are the things that you got to look into when you're changing the files in the folders. Because if you don't do those changes, it'll create those issues that people are getting. Like, for example, one issue that people keep on getting is whenever they turn on the device and they're installing the operating system, they get a garbled screen. And mainly when you get the garbled screen on this device, it happens because we are using a DTV file that is made for an R36S. And because that screen has a 4:3 aspect ratio, and these screens are 1:1, these are 720 by 720, is not recognizing the logo screen whenever the device turns on. It recognizes the logo, but it's not the correct size, so it shows it to you as a garbled image. Okay, that's one of the issues that we're having. The other issue that people are having is that when they install the operating system, they get a black screen, and there's two errors that may be going on. And I'm going to show you both of those so that you can check them in your end, make sure that you're not doing those two errors, make sure that you're copying everything correctly. And once you fix those two errors, you should be able to get the screen to light up. The other thing is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the files that I used on this particular device, and I'm going to put a link on the description of the video so that you can go in there, and if you cannot get your device to work because of the files that you're getting, you can try mine. You can try my files, use them on your device, and see if by using mine your device will work. But let me remove the micro SD card, and first what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to go to quit, shut down system. And then I'm going to remove the card. There we go. Okay, so here I am at my computer and my card has been inserted, and these are all the files that are inside the card of my R36Max, which is running dArkOS. So basically what we have to do is, if you look at this boot file here, it's not showing the extension, but it should be a boot.ini file. So what we have to do with that file there is we have to open it, but we got to open it with a text editor. Okay. But I don't want to use that one. So let me see if it will allow me to open it with. Okay, well, apparently it opened it with the text editor, but basically what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to show you what it's got to say. So you got to make sure when you open up the boot init file that you see this writing here. It's got to be this exact writing. If you don't have this in this section here, you're going to get a black screen. So you got to make sure that your boot ini file reads RK3326-R36Max-Linux.dtv. And basically what this does is this tells your device that it has to look for this file right here. Okay, so it's going to be looking for that one. If your booting file shows something different, that's what's not working. Okay, the other thing is that, let's say on the logos, what I did is I'm going to delete both of these logos because none of those are working. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to delete them. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer them over to my desktop. I'm just going to save them there for now. And then I'm going to delete them. Okay. And what I did is I went to one of my Reddit channels. I'm a member of the R36S subreddit, and a member there posted this folder where it gives you several boot logos for the R36S. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna test a couple. But the one I'm gonna try, I'm thinking of doing the Game On, or maybe doing, there's another one that I like. This called this one right here, R36Max. Actually, I'm going to do this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it onto the card, and I'm going to change it to logo. I'm going to change the name to logo. And then I'm going to close this. The other thing that you have to do, and you got to make sure that when you copy this folder, that you copy the correct folder, okay? So on my previous video, what I do is I download the dArkOS for clones image file to my Mac, and when I do that, I copy all the folders that are inside this folder here that's called consoles, because if you open up the folder that's called consoles, it'll actually give you all the folders, all the names of the clones that you can download DTB files for. Okay, so if you scroll down on this page here, when we go to their website, okay, you're gonna see that there's gonna be an R36. Actually, this is new, because when I did it the first time, it was several months ago, and they only had a folder for the R36Max. Now they have a folder for an R36Max, an R36Max no amp, which honestly I really don't know what that means. Without amp, thanks. Okay, so I don't know what this one's for. But then there's also an R36Max 2, which there was a member that sent me a message on my YouTube channel asking me if this program was actually compatible with an R36Max 2, but I didn't know they had one. So now I can see that there's actually .dtb files for that particular device. So what you can do is, if you have the original R36Max, you can click on this box here, and that's going to show you several files. I'm going to recommend you download all of them to your computer. Okay, so just click on it, and right here where it says download raw file, you're going to do that, and it's going to download it to your downloads folder. Okay, so you save that one, and then we go back, download the boot.ini file, same thing, download raw file, save it to your downloads folder, then go back and download this second one here. And save it. Okay, so once you download the files, you go to your folder, and let's close this window for now. Okay, so on the previous video, when I go over these files here, what I basically tell you is that this ArkOS for clone.uboot.dtb file has to be renamed, and it actually has to be renamed to rg351b-uboot.dtb. So this file here is this same one. Okay, when I downloaded it, when I created the first video. So this file here is going to be that same one, and this one is actually this one here. Okay, so that's what you have to do. You have to rename this one, pass it over to your boot folder, and then this one here, pass it over to the boot folder, and the one that was in the boot folder originally, you just remove it and replace it with this one. Let's see here, minimize this window, and let's open this one again, and let's just open it with the notepad because I'm not going to change it. So it's got under the load MMC 1-to-1, it's got to say this here. Okay, so that is got to match this here. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the card and put it back in the R-Max. So let's close this up and eject the card. So here's the card, and let's put it back into the R36Max. And we're gonna boot it again. There's the new logo. You see how it's not garbled anymore? The problem is just that the size of the original logo that we had was different than the one that the device takes. So that fixed that problem. And like I said, when I did the installation on my device, I did have a couple of issues in the beginning, because what happened is when I downloaded the image to my Mac, and I went to look for the console folder, I chose the wrong console folder. Instead of using R36Max, I chose R36T-Max, and I grabbed the wrong files. So that was one of the issues that I had first. When I tried to install the operating system, it wasn't working, and I was wondering why. And I kept on looking to see what the problem was, until I finally realized that I had chosen the wrong folder. So I had the wrong files. But then I chose the correct folder. And what happened was that I had not gone into the boot.ini file to make sure that the file name was correct. I was showing a different file name in that boot.ini file, and then after I changed it to the correct number, it worked out. And as you can see, it's still running. So I still have dArkOS running on this device, and it actually runs pretty good. I mean, it's pretty fast. I love the way that it looks. And one thing that I noticed is that the ports, let me see, did I do the port on this one? I got 2 ports, but the ports run pretty good. But what impressed me was actually the Nintendo 64, because the Nintendo 64 actually runs really good. And it runs better than it used to before. Let me see if I could show you a bit of some gameplay on this. And as you can see, I do have sound on mine, so that means that the .dtb file is the right one. I know that some people are saying that they have no sound after the installation, but no sound also means that the .dtb file is wrong. So you need to make sure that you correct that. Make sure that you grab the correct file. And as you can see, if you go to the ArkOS for Clone website, they actually have new folders. So if the one that I show you does not work, then go and check the other two folders. They have the R36Max, I believe it was called No Amp, and then there was an R36Max 2. So try them all until you find the one that works. It does have a few glitches here and there, but as you can see, once you're playing, most of the glitches are gone. Now, of course, when you start getting a bunch of characters and a bunch of images in the screen, it'll probably slow down a little bit, but it runs much better than what it used to before. So I think that's going to be it for the video tonight. I hope that it helped you out a lot. If you have any further questions, like always drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. And again, if you enjoy the video, please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so that you can continue receiving all these tutorials that I record every now and then. And I will see you again on the next video. Bye.